Hello, grade 4. How are you? Today we're going to start a new lesson. This is chapter 11, lesson 3. The name of our lesson today, North American Neighbors. Okay. Before I start, guys, I want to share with you something. This is the map of North America. Okay. You know that we have 7 continents in the world. Okay. Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, South America, um, Australia, and Antarctica. Okay, these are the 7 continents in the world. Today we're going to speak about one continent which is called North America. Today, again, we're going to speak about one continent which is called North America. North America, all of this map is about the continent of North America. This is the continent of North America. Look, all of this land is North America. North America has 3 countries: Canada, United States, Mexico. Canada, United States, Mexico. These are the 3 countries in North America. In North, Canada. In the middle, United States of America. And in the south, Mexico. Okay, let's speak first about Canada. Canada, guys, borders America to the north. Canada borders America to the north. This is Canada. And here is, guys, North Canada is very near to the Arctic Ocean. You know the Arctic Ocean or the North Pole, which is very cold, okay, or frozen. Uh, in real words, it's frozen area. So here is North Canada is very near to this Arctic area, okay? That's why North Canada is very, very cold. Okay, when we speak about Canada's weather, we have to say that North Canada is very near to the Arctic area. So here is this part of Canada, North Canada is very, very cold. Okay, what we can see here in the map of Canada, here is, guys, Hudson Bay. Okay, this Hudson Bay, it's a body of water. This body of water, of course, it's cold, and most time during the year, you can find this water is frozen, but sometimes it bring warm climate to the country. Okay, so sometimes it's frozen, and sometimes it bring warm climate or warm weather to the country. Okay, what else? You know that the water all the time bring warm climate or warm weather. Okay, so you can say, Mrs. Mayada, here is the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so the Pacific Ocean sometimes also bring warm climate to Canada, but here is, as you can see, these are the Great Mountains. So because the Great Mountain is very high, okay, so sometimes they prevent the warm climate or the warm air that comes from the Pacific Ocean to go through in Canada. Okay, so here is Hudson Bay. Most of the times it's frozen, but sometimes it brings warm air inside Canada. Okay, here is the Pacific Ocean, bring warm air to Canada, but here is the Great Plains. The Great Mountains, because it's very high, it prevents the warm air coming out from the Pacific Ocean to go through in Canada. Okay, what else, guys? Here is, guys, as you can see, there are some landforms that shared in Canada and the United States of America. Look, here is the Rocky Mountains and here is the Great Plains. Part of them located in Canada and part of them located in America. So the Rocky Mountains and the Great Plains are shared between Canada and America. Okay, what else? Also, here is Canada, as you can see, is divided into provinces. Provinces means areas, okay? Is yeah, divided into provinces. Only one province is called the Quebec. Those people are speaking French, okay? You know, guys, that the original people of Canada, America, and Mexico, of all the continents, are the American Indians. Those are the original people, okay? But along the years or over the years, here is all Canada's or all the Canadian people speak English, expect, except only, I'm sorry, except only Quebec. One province in Canada is called Quebec. Those people are speaking French. Why? Because the French people settled in Canada, and after that, after Canada got its freedom, the French people go back to the country. So you can find most of the Canadian people or all the Canadian people speak English except only Quebec. Okay, it's one city in Canada. Those people who living in Quebec speak French. Okay, this is about Canada. And you know, guys, because Canada borders America to the north, of course, there are trade relationships between Canada and America. Okay, so let's read this part again. Here is, guys, yes, I forget to tell you something. That look at the map again. You can find that the land of Canada, of course, it's bigger than the land of United States of America. But the population of America or the number of the Americans people, of course, are bigger or are larger than the Canadian people. Okay, so the Americans, of course, are larger or are bigger in number than the Canadians, but Canada's land is bigger than America's land. Okay, so don't forget this information, please. Okay, let's read. Here is the United States is part of North America as a continent, okay? Here is Canada makes the large part of North America. Canada has the second largest land, by the way, of all countries in the world. But the United States, however, has over 9 times its population. So Canada is bigger in land, but America is bigger in population. Okay, but of course, both countries are trading with each other. So they trade with Canada. يعني more with Canada than any other country. Okay, let's speak about climate, land, and people of Canada. As I told you that Canada extend or stretch to the Arctic Circle, okay? So here is the coastal mountains. As I told you, these mountains, coastal mountains means the mountains that face the Pacific Ocean, the Great Mountains here. Okay, the Great Mountains along the Pacific Ocean. And most people, or most of the Canadian people, live here in this part, the west part, along the coastal city, and also in the south, because as we move down or as we move south, of course, we became near to the equator. It means that the weather is more warm, okay, or is warmer than this Arctic area. This Arctic area is near to the Arctic Ocean. That's why it's very cold. Look at its color. It's white and gray. It means that it's very cold. Okay, as we go to the south, okay, of course, it means that we go near to the equator. Okay, so the climate or the weather is warmer than this area. Okay, in this area it's warmer than this area. So most of the Canadian people are living here along the Pacific Ocean and here in the south. Okay, because they near to the equator. Okay, so again, Canada is stretched to the Arctic Circle. But here, as you can see along the coastal or the Pacific coastal, the coastal mountains block warm winds or warm air to come from the Pacific into Canada. Okay, what about Hudson Bay? I told you Hudson Bay is frozen area. Okay, it's frozen much of the year. But Sometimes it helps keep the temperature cool. Okay. Canada has Arctic weather, means very, very cold weather. So most of the Canadians live in the warmer coast along the Pacific Ocean, as I told you, in the west, and also in the south border, okay, or in the south part. You know that Canada and America share some landforms together, like what? Like the Rocky Mountains and the Great Plains. So, what are the landforms that are shared between America and Canada? The Rocky Mountains and the Great Plains. Okay. There is a major landform in Canada is called the Canadian Shield. Look, it's in the middle of Canada. Look, this is the Canadian Shield. This one, the Canadian Shield. This part. What about this part, the Canadian Shield? This part, okay, includes it's a vast area or it's a big area. It includes forests and lakes. It includes forests and lakes, and of course, forestry is a major industry in Canada. What the meaning of that? It means that how we use forest. We use the wood of the forest. We use the mud of the forest. We use the trees of the forest in many industries. Okay. The original people of Canada, as I told you, are the American Indians, and nowadays are the Canadian people. The Canadian people speak the English language, okay, except one province, means one area is called the Quebec. Those people speak French language, okay? Why? Because Canada one day was settled by France. After that, France left Canada and the French people went back to their country and Canada got its freedom. Okay? So the Canadian people speak English except only Quebec speak French. That's it. This paragraph, guys, is cancelled. Okay? This paragraph is cancelled. So what I want from this paragraph is only that all the Canadians speak English except Quebec speak French. Okay. Now let's speak about Mexico. So before I speak about Mexico, let me show you the map of Mexico. Mexico borders America to the south. Okay. Here is Mexico City is the capital of Mexico and it's an urban area or urban community. Okay. Here is in the middle, we could find the plateau of Mexico. This landform plateau of Mexico has many volcanoes, okay? And here is on the east and on the west, these are mountains. One of them on the east are called Sierra Madre Oriental, and here is on the west, Sierra Madre Accidental, okay? This is range of mountains, one in the east and one in the west. Those are the landforms of Mexico. So plateau of Mexico that consists many volcanoes, and here is the range mountains, which is called Sierra Madre Oriental and Sierra Madre Accidental. Okay. As you can see also that Mexico is a peninsula, water um, here is water around Mexico from all sides. Here is we can find the Gulf of Mexico to the east. To the south, we could find the Caribbean Sea, okay? And here is we could find on the west the Pacific Ocean, okay, to the west. Here is in the Caribbean Sea, guys, we could also find a lot of islands, okay? These are called the Caribbean islands, and the weather in this area is very warm. Also, the weather or the climate of Mexico is warm most of the year because it's a peninsula. It means that it borders or water, many bodies of water here is around Mexico. That's why the water bring warm air. So the climate in Mexico is warm. Okay. So let's read what about Mexico. Mexico and the Caribbean islands. Mexico borders America to the south. Okay, we know this information. And of our south eastern coast lie the islands of the Caribbean, okay? The Caribbean islands to the east. Okay. There are good ties between America and Mexico, and here is the United States trades widely with Mexico and the Caribbean islands in the same time. And visitors from Mexico to America and from America to Mexico, no problem. Okay, here is let's speak about Mexico land and climate. Mexico, I told you, it's like a triangle, and in the center or in the middle of Mexico located Central Plateau, okay? And this area has many volcanoes. It has many volcanoes. Also, we have Mexico City, and it's an urban area. Mexico City, it's an urban area. What about the mountains? There are mountain ranges in the east and in the west. Okay, in the east we could find the Sierra Madre Occidental, and in the west we could find Sierra Madre Oriental. Okay, this is the landforms in Mexico. What about the temperature? I told you it's warm because it's peninsula, the water from the three sides. Okay, so here is in Mexico mountains. On the mountains, of course, the temperature is cold, but the temperature or the climate and the rest of Mexico, no, it's warm. It's what? Warm, as you can see, generally warm. So the temperature generally warm in Mexico, except on the mountains, it's cold. Okay, and here is, guys, the Caribbean islands. These are the names of the Caribbean islands. If you want to memorize, up to you, okay? And these are the language of them. As you can see, the language are Spanish, Mexico, French, English, and other languages, okay? Why, guys? Because I told you that the original people who lived in Mexico, like America, like Canada, are the American Indians. After the American Indians who lived in Mexico came the Aztecs people, okay? The Aztecs lived in Mexico and made the Aztec Empire. After that, Mexico was settled by Spain. Okay, that's why most of Mexican people speak the Spanish language because Mexico was settled by Spain. After Mexico got their freedom or its freedom, okay, nowadays the Mexican people speak the Spanish language, but some of the Caribbean islands related to America, and some of them related to Mexico, and some of them related to European countries, okay? And you know that those European who settled in Mexico brought Africans, I'm sorry, to work as slaves. Okay, so you could find it that Mexico and the Caribbean islands had mix of cultures. Okay, had Spanish culture because Mexico was settled by Spain, had European culture because some of the European countries own the Caribbean islands. Okay, had African culture because those European brought Africans to work as slaves in Mexico and also in the Caribbean islands. Okay, so here is, if we speak about the people, I told you African Americans, after that Aztecs, after the Aztecs, the Spanish, okay, after the Spanish, the Mexican nowadays, okay, and nowadays also we could find, I told you, mix of nationalities, Spanish, European like English, French, okay, European, and Africans plus the Mexican, now the original, I'm sorry, the people of Mexico, okay. They speak I'm sorry, Spanish, by the way. nowadays because it was settled by Spain. Okay. That's it, guys. Spanish is the main language, as I told you, in Mexico. In Mexico, Spanish is the main language. Don't forget that. And now you could find many populations, especially in the Caribbean islands, okay, or on the Caribbean islands. I'm sorry. This is our lesson for today, guys. Study the map. The map will help you understand the lesson easily. Read the information again and make relationships between this information and the map. You could understand the lesson very easily, okay? And if you want any information about that lesson, contact me anytime. Thank you and goodbye.